Hey, what's up guys, Barber P here. Today we got a high fade on my cousin Noah. See, the first thing about cutting hair, the first thing you want to do is to comb out the hair. That's crucial, trust me. You want to comb out the hair, lift the hair off the scalp, and it'll allow your blade to run through the hair 10 times better, trust me. I want to apologize in advance for the lighting. I tried to play with the lighting like while I was doing the haircut, but then it somehow made the background a little bit too bright like hair. But we're starting off with our first guideline is the bald line, and I like to make my bald line like at the corner of the C cup and just make my way around like I'm doing here. And you can see when I get to the back here a little bit, I kind of dip the guideline down a little, but that's just because I'm trying to make sure the haircut fits his head pretty much. And it's the same thing for the other side. You just start at the edge of the C cup or the corner, and then you come around, you connect the two dots, then you just get rid of the bulk at the bottom. But yo, big shout out to my boy Sheldon, man. Yo, this beat is fire, bro. Make sure I put all your information in the description. Yo, keep it up, man. This is a hard beat. For my next guideline, I have my lever all the way open right now, and I'm pretty much going an inch or two up just to make this next guideline. You gotta keep in mind the wider your guidelines, yeah, the blurrier your fade will be, and you want to make sure it's consistent all around the head. You know, you don't want to make one side big and then one side small, because then your fade is gonna be wobbly. You don't want that. You kind of want it all to be the same level, all to be the same thing, so that way when you're coming back and taking it out, blurry. Trust me, man. Just keep it consistent around your work, and then it's that simple. You can see here I dip it a little in the back as well, because like I said, I'm trying to make sure that the haircut matches the head. And then yeah, you just gotta pay attention to that. Head shapes define every haircut, man. You have to, because not every haircut is the same, right? So you have to make sure you pay attention to your head shape and then customize the haircut for them so it suits them, and you know, it just looks nice. And right now we got the 1.5 guard open, and at this point right now I'm basically just blending the bottom to the top. Like, notice how my hand is moving, right? When I get to the top, when I notice I'm getting to the top of the head, I'm kind of flicking it out. So it's not creating another guideline, it's just blending the bottom and the top together. You gotta keep that in mind. As soon as you get to the top of the, because everybody has a round head, right? And you don't want to keep the blade flush going into their head. You want to keep the look square, so you're kind of just flicking it out when you get to the top of their head. That's it. Just keep it consistent all around the head and you're good. Right here I'm trying to take out the bottom guideline. So what you do is, I know most YouTubers, they say put the blade all the way closed and then flick out. For me, what I like to do, I like to put my lever around this end. So I will start with my lever all the way closed, and like you can see what I'm doing here, I bring it down the higher up I go. So it's more of a blend, and you just gotta play around with the lever at this point to get the first guideline out. It takes a little bit of practice, but trust me, man, as soon as you get it locked down, it's key. It's a game changer. And right here we have the number 1 guard open, and you pretty much just want to go up another 1.5 inches. You're just making another guideline. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to blend it into the 1.5 on top. And the key part about this is you always want to keep a comb in your other hand. So you got to keep in mind, you're using the number 1 guard, and as you can see, the hair is moving upwards while you go up with the guard. So you kind of just want to use the comb to bring it back into place. I find if you don't do this, the haircut comes out patchy, to me at least. You can do it with a brush, but I don't really like using brush while the hair is this kind of longish on the side. I prefer to use a brush when it's more of like a blade open or a 0 guard, you know, just smaller hair. You don't want to use it while there's this many hair. I like to use the comb because it pulls the hair down. And right now we got the 0 guard closed. The thing about the 0 guard is you want to use the corner of this blade, and just make sure to take your time, because I find this is at least one of the most important part of the blend, because this is what really ties the blend together. So just take your time. You want to start off with the lever closed and then make your way down the higher up you go. And you're gonna see at some point in this video I kind of flip the clipper around, and I do like a raking type of motion. and that's just because I'm trying to bring some of the longer hair at the top to the bottom and make it blend more. But yeah, take your time, keep it consistent here, and you just want to play around with the lever until the blend is good enough to you, at least, you know. We're gonna come back after it, do some more detail work, but just take your time around this part. So right here I'm just doing some detail work with my lever open, and it's pretty much the same thing as a zero guard. You want to use the corner of the blade and then cut in between the dark spots in the fade. You don't want to use the full blade because you could push the fade up. But in a minute you're gonna see me turn the machine over and kind of do like a raking motion. And like I said before, I'm just trying to blend the bottom to the top. And you wanna make sure you take your time when it comes to detailing. It's one of the most crucial parts, in my opinion, at least. This is truly what separates a good haircut from a great haircut. Just take your time until you're ready to move on to the next section. And the back of the fade is pretty much the same as the side, but I really want to show you guys this part because I always see online that people are saying that they're struggling to get rid of the bottom guideline. But it's really simple. Like, you just want to take your time and play with the lever. You see, like I'm doing here, I kind of go down with the lever the higher I go, and you want to remember that the higher you go, you want to go down with the lever, and just keep it consistent and take your time, and you should be all right. And like I said, the back is the same thing as the side, and I know you guys don't want to sit there and listen to me talk for that long about the same thing, so I'm just gonna speed this part up, and I'm gonna get back to you guys when we get to the hairline prep. Let's go. So I'm starting off my hairline prep with my number one guard open, and I'm gonna go with the grain, but I'm also gonna go against the grain, and that's pretty much just to cut off all the overhanging hairs that are maybe sticking over the hairline, so when I come back behind it with my clippers, it gives me more of a cleaner line. And as soon as I'm done with my number one guard open, I like to come in right after with my razor comb, and this is just to help me catch some of the hairs that the number one guard open didn't catch. And then right after my razor comb, I like to apply some alcohol to the hairline area, and this is mostly for the skin underneath the hair. It's not really for the hair, and I find it just gives me more of a smoother line. Now I'm applying some hairspray to the hairline area, and this is just to keep all the hair still while I come behind it with my clippers so it doesn't move as much. So as you can see, I'm starting off the hairline from the center of the head, and I'm making my way to the right, but you can make your way to the left, or it's more whatever that's more comfortable to you. Just always make sure you come back behind it after and double check your work and make sure it's symmetrical. And I know it always seems like the hairline is the hardest part, but it's really not. You just gotta take your time and make sure you check your line while you're going along. And even if you make one side crooked or one side too low or this and that, you could always come back after and make it even. So you just take your time and just kind of play with the line a little bit until you get it right, but just don't push them back. Now I'm just adding some liquid enhancement to my client's hairline. And the thing about enhancement, once you don't overdo it, then it's not really noticeable, you know? You don't wanna go crazy with your enhancement and make the whole hairline darker than it should be. Just put it in the corners where you think your client needs it and you should be alright. As soon as you're done applying your enhancement, you want to always come behind that and just make sure to touch up the lineup, just to make sure everything is still even and symmetrical. And as soon as I'm done going over my hairline, I like to add some hair fibers to the hairline, just because the liquid enhancement, it may last you longer, but the hair fibers gives you more of a realistic look. And as soon as I'm done applying the hair fibers, I like to come back behind it with my liners and just clean up my line, make sure everything is still crispy. And now I'm just applying some holding spray to lock the hair fibers in place. You always want to make sure you blow dry the hair on cold air, just to ensure your client doesn't sweat while you're lining him up or while you're brushing his hair. And what I normally do at the end of the cut, I usually go back through the cut and do a little bit more detail work, try to touch up some spot that I missed. And for the final step of the cut, I'm just adding some leave-in conditioner to my client's hair, and I'm gonna come behind of it after with my sponge just to give it more of a curlier look. And when it comes to using the sponge, you always just want to make sure you go in one motion all around the head. That's pretty much it, man. So this is how my client looked before the haircut. As you can see, he was in desperate need for a haircut. And this is the after. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I got plenty more videos on the way. You guys can follow me at BarberP2 on Instagram. And I'll see you guys in the next video.